Is there sound now? God, the sound of Discord must be awful then. So you're using what's that? Check one. Whoa, that's loud. Alright, YouTube has sound now. There we go. I knew something was up. I knew something was up. Does it sound alright or does it sound a little bit sketchy? Alright. I fixed it, mate. I did a thing. Did a thing, mate. It makes X sound like he's in the Superdome giving class to 100k traders. Let's do it. I'm up for it. I'll do it. Next time you see me, we'll be in the multiverse. That's where I'm going to be. Some 4D gorillas type multiverse hologram. That's where you're going to find me. Yes, sir. Let's get some. Let's get some. Joe, you still holding along from earlier. My guy gets some. What are you going for, Joeskis? You going for the highs? Go for it. Be my guest. Balls out, son. Balls out, son. To the moon. Why not? Live and dream. As long as you paid yourself on route, I don't really care. As long as you paid yourself on route, I don't really care. You better have paid yourself, Joe. You better have paid yourself already, son. So these are my trades this morning. Let's go over them. So 63 down to 16. 22 up to 53. Took a little L in here. 91 down to 79, then bounced. 63 scaled out to 22, parlayed in at 07. So I got out at 22. So I don't have any contracts left. I'm currently flat at the minute. I've also taken 4 trades this morning now, which is way beyond what I'm used to. It's just too clean. It's just too clean. It's just too clean this morning. Just too clean. Good morning, Debbie. What kind of coffee are you drinking, Debbie? You can judge a person by the coffee they drink. Why do I get a feeling like you're just black? You're just a black coffee girl. Why do I get that vibe? Debbie ain't doing no oat milk. Debbie likes the coffee straight up. No fluff, no messing around. Just give me that caffeine. Oh, Italian sweet cream and dark roast. Whoosh. Very nice. Little cortado on the house. Get some. Do you guys? Oh, Debbie will know what this is. Debbie will know what an affogato is. Do you know what an affogato is, Debbie? Oh, here he is. Here he is. You gotta love Steve. You gotta love Steve. I grow my own Brazilian coffee, Arabica French Bourbon type. Of course you do, Steve. Of course you do. Oh, do you pilot that across Colombia as well? Is that what you do? You get in your little Cessna, little Cessna plane. waving goodbye to your herd of cows. I think everyone just needs to live Steve's life. I think that's the crack. Just live like Steve. Yeah, exactly. He's like that guy he's like that guy in the market. Coke, coffee, Coke. By the way, if any of you have been to London, and you go to you've been to Camden, that's kind of who I'm referencing. So if you go outside the tube station in Camden, there's always a guy standing outside. He'll just go to you, Coke, weed, Coke, weed. Whoa, dude, brush your teeth, mate. Comes right up in your face. Coke, weed. No, fuck off. I want you fucking salt. Oh yeah, we've seen this picture before, Steve. Very nice, very nice. You have to send me some, Steve. I want some of this coffee. Actually, I don't drink coffee anymore. What am I talking about? But Debbie on the Affogato, she knows what an Affogato is. Of course she does. I'm a club soda and coffee drinker. There you go, in the house. Bosh, get some. Or like the French, what? Or like the French barinette, glasses on the beach, donuts and ice cream. Yeah, I think I'm more of a Affogato type guy. You know, a nice coffee, cold coffee, with a scoop of good quality ice cream on top. Yes, sir. Talk to me. There on the sun lounger, getting those, getting the six-pack, getting the old six-pack rolled out with the Affogato. Losing a few packs, going down to a 4-pack. Little 4-pack. So yeah, this is nice. What are you talking about, Fran? Yeah, I think you need to. I think we need to do some Red Pill branding. Coffee. What do you think? You in, Steve? Let's do it. Let's do some Red Pill coffee. Let's get them batched up and just given out. We'll just give them to the world. All right, just freebies. Just have it. That's what it's all about. Giving back. Giving back to people. Sure. As see on the other side will be the tag. Oh yeah. You see, Steve. You're not just a one-trick pony, son. See you on the other side. There you go. Red pill. Hand. Little cocoa bean. Get one of those little red ones on it. There you go. Branding boxed. But in all seriousness, Steve. In all seriousness, I'm so up for doing that. If you want to bag them up, and we'll just give them away on Twitterville. What do you reckon? Some Red Pill coffee, just give them out. If you got a few little bags you want to get out, I'll happily tell everyone where it's from. Our Colombian drug lords, Brazilian farm. I'm happy to do that. Step up production a bit too. Steady on, Steve. Steady on, Steve. One step at a time, mate. I think maybe start with 5. Just maybe give 5 out. Steve's going full-blown production here. Steve's counting the dollar bills already. Steady on, Steve. This is charity, bro. This is charity. We'll step up with that. Yeah. Oh, we took a turn. We're taking a turn. Coca-Cola, Steve. We're on YouTube. Coca-Cola. Please put Coca-Cola. Delete your post before we get banned. Or I get banned. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Coca-Cola. For anyone who's watching this who's sub 16. And if you are sub 16, get the fuck off this stream. I ain't got time for you. Go to school. Go get a degree. Fail at whatever it is you want to do in life. And then you can decide you want to learn how to trade. My uncle in the USA wants to set me up with a Colombian girl. Oh, Jesus. Friends of his new Colombian... Oh, well, here we go. Apparently it's a great place to visit and cheap cost of living. Well, you got it all there, Joe. Cheap housing. A girl who wants you. What more do you want? You're a pilot as well, right? Joe, you're the pilot, right? You're a pilot? You'll be able to pick up a Colombian girl. Easy peasy. In Colombia. Oh, he was. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ask Debbie. What does Debbie think? What do you think about a retired pilot, Debbie? Does that float your boat, or do you want a pilot to be a pilot? Retired pilot's a bit, you know. You started off A+, but now I know you're retired. Debbie's not impressed. Columbia, not to be a dragorana. No. You wouldn't want to do that, mate. Get yourself in trouble. Oh. That sounds good. Debbie's off. She's had her coffee. She's ready. She wants a holiday. Let's sort Debbie out. Debbie wants that holiday. She's pumped. Joe's got travel concessions. There you go. I'm like fucking Cupid right here as well. Not only am I a trader, I'm a Cupid. Jesus. What's going on? You're a bit late to the party, last common ancestor. Debbie's taken. Debbie's taken. Sorry, Debbie. Sort of pimping you out here. It's not what I intended to do when I came on here, but you know, it's kind of the vibe that the stream has taken. Last common ancestor, you're a pilot as well, aren't you? I'm not even joking. I'm pretty sure you're a pilot. Red Pill is full of pilots. What is it with pilots and trading? What's going on? Yeah, Plainview's a pilot as well. I swear to God, we've got the entire EasyJet crew in Red Pill. Oh, that's crazy shit. You guys should fly planes. Like, it fucking scares me that all of you are in here trading. Focus on the clouds. Jesus. Flew for Cathay Pacific. Never heard of them. Absolutely never heard of them. Sorry, mate. I think you lost Debbie on that as well, if I'm honest. I think I just heard a sigh. I was like, oh, Cathay Pacific. Oh, God. That's what you want. You want a bit of British Airways. That's what you want. That's what you want to fly for. I don't know. Debbie's still keen. She doesn't care about Cathay Pacific. Oh, single. Yes, sir. Oh, don't shoot yourself down, Joe. Don't shoot yourself down. Right, should we talk about price action? Stop pimping Debbie out. Sorry, Debbie. So, Asia to London session due to swing today, right? So for those of you who study my schematics, I'm not going to go into its details today. I've been through it until I'm blue in the face inside of red pill. If you're not inside red pill, unlucky. Eat shit. So Asia to London session due to swing came down to our 15-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity. So this is where we were looking for our buck stock to frame our longs. So if you look at my trade this morning, where you at? Where we at? Where's it gone? So this very low, down at 22, right? This is right in on this low. So this is down inside the 15-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity inside of an Asia to London session due to swing. So we are now anticipating price to want to go and drive out the highs. And the reason for that is that we have context in the shape of a divergence up on the high. And we also have a wider divergence with ES up on this high. So if we look at ES yesterday during FOMC, we got up into this void. So we have a SMT up on this high where we have NQ playing six sister, where it needs to go and drive up into this void up on the high. So with an Asia to London session Judas swing, essentially this would be your purge on the Asia high. That's your Judas for the eventual move. Okay, so inside of here is where we've been trading our longs inside of red pill. Okay, so inside of here and then scaling in here at 63. So why we were entering down here at 63 is utilization of X levels. Again, guys, I'm not going to go tooth and nail going into the granular on YouTube. But back inside of a discount, and we always want to go long inside of a discount, and then we had our context inside of here mitigating this range on the low. So engineered liquidity, and if you trade the way that we trade inside red pill, we're turtle suit traders, so we're always sweeping liquidity as our ways that we take trades. So you can see here price accumulating inside of a premium engineered liquidity back inside of a 5-minute BISI. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this here on YouTube, but now acting as support as we now expand out. So sweeping engineered liquidity, turtle suits, then go and drive out the highs. So this is what some of the guys inside of red pill are still in. They're in on this low, just holding their runners. So I got in on this low, parlayed in, scaled out at 22. So I got out right here, which is oh God. Which is the lower 30% of this breaker structure up inside of a premium. So if you're holding runners, be my guest, hold runners. Your objective is literally going to be to take out this daily high. So at the moment I'm just flat now. We got news at 8:30, unemployment claims, and we got ISM at 10 o'clock. All right, so the volatility is likely to come into the market here. If you're still long from this low, you're just holding runners, stop below this low on your lamb to slaughter, right? So if I get rid of all this trash on my charts, so from this low to this high, back down to a discount, you'd want to have paid yourself inside of a premium of this range, which should have been in here, right? Premium paid, which is why I paid myself. When we break through here, now using this 5-minute BISI now as support. Although it's a whole site number, so you've got to be mindful this is 16.6, which is a whole site number. So there's every chance they want to come and run this. So if you're in down here, you're still holding a runner, stop below the low, paid yourself, holding a lamb to slaughter with your stop below that low. So, and you're just basically looking for trade continuation to trade the actual move. But you got to be mindful that we've got news at 8:30, so we're likely to consolidate. If price rejects from here, I'd be looking back down towards the upper quad on this 5-minute BISI. So again, the same principle, I'd be looking inside up here for continuation. Because these are, I've made an absolute car crash of this chart. Right, so if we do get a sweep or another opportunity for an entry, I'd be looking inside this unmitigated range, which is down at sort of 80, 85, 88. So right in here, you got balanced price range on the 1 minute, right in here. So for me, I probably wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to see price go through that. So again, back inside. Now we've broken through this 5 minute BISI. We're now wanting the upper quads to now act as support as price moves higher. Okay, so we've done the manipulation, bosh, sweeping this engineered. Now we're displacing. So I'm okay with it coming to sweep this whole cycle of 19.6 because this is a weak low. So this low is putting this high, never came back to fair value. So this low here is suspect. If I was looking to re-engage with price, I'd want to see price get back down into this here. So when this high, and I appreciate I'm speaking at 1,000 miles an hour here, but this low, this high, when we broke through, we now have a break of structure, right? So what does this become? It becomes unmitigated. So this low to this high, then we have our quad levels on our unmitigated range. Okay, so inside of here would be the upper 30%. What validates the upper 30% as a potential for a long? Accumulation before the break of structure validates the upper 30%. So again, gets you back down into this area to start searching and hunting for your base rules, red pillars, for a trade, right? That's where you'd be looking for your triggers that we often talk about. Okay, but this balanced price range, you don't mind price if it tests BPR, but once it tests BPR, it should no longer go below 50% of that BPR. All right, so inside of here is where I'll be studying that. Right, if we get down into here for potential continuation. But you got to be mindful. You got news at 8:30. Okay. Smurf! What's up, Smurf? How's it going, bro? Smurf, why do I recognize your name? Why do I recognize your name, Smurf? I recognize your name. Don't know why I recognize your name. Smurf. Were you OG? Red Pill? Like way back when? Before it was even Red Pill? When it was called Level Up? You're regular on YouTube or inside of Red Pill? Sorry, if you're inside Red Pill, apologise. But I recognise your name, but I can't remember what before. Colombia was a fun place, vibrant people, cheap to be there. It was a bit like Brazil in some ways for that. Yeah, I've not been to Colombia. I'll be up for going though. Spent quite a lot of time in Bogota, Medellin. Jesus. Bogota and Medellin. Just YouTube. Okay, cool. Good stuff, Smurf. Well, good to see you, bro. I've heard Bogota and Medellin has changed a lot, right? It's apparently, I think they've got an amazing food scene or something there now. If it breaks through this BP, I'll be sitting on the sidelines and waiting because it's more likely it's going to start driving out this low. I'm basically sat flat waiting for news now. I've got news at 8:30, unemployment claims. So. So that's gone all the way up to So if we look at this high from over here, if we go onto this chart quickly, So this over here is delayed SMT up on this high, right? So this SMT from earlier up here is delayed SMT. So you just got to be careful here. I'm just going to wait to see wait for news to tip its hand. There is a potential opportunity for a long here, but I'm just going to stay patient. If I miss it, I miss it. I've already taken 4 trades today, so I normally take 2 trades per session, so I don't want to overstay my welcome. But as we're talking about this balanced price range, right? So you don't mind it testing it, but if it tests it, it shouldn't go back through 50%. All right, so if you were trading this, you'd now want to be making sure that you're paying yourself en route out. I mean, that is a tiny little 10-point scalp there if you took that. So what you want to be mindful of is being inside the discount side of this one in case it wants to distribute out of here. So you'd want if you took this bounce, it's sketchy here, right? So close to news. So if you did take that, you'd want to be paying yourself in here, holding runners to try and get it back up into fair value or premium. Beyond that, take out this high. But it is sketchy this close to news. Let's have a look on this low quickly. I think, like most places on the continent, you have to be aware of where not to go, but I didn't have any trouble in Colombia. Yeah, if you just walk around with an AK-47, I'm sure you're fine. Do you know what I mean? I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking with you if you got an AK-47. Five, 6 weeks. That's quite a long time. So how long we got? We got, I think news is 8:30, it's not 8:15. Just make sure I've got my marks up right. Yeah, 8:30, unemployment claims. So super clean London. Super clean London. That's what I'm talking about. Why you'd want to be careful. Make sure you pay yourself. So if it took out your position here, just move to the sidelines. Don't want. There's no need to chase. So I'm just going to sit patient, wait for news. See where they throw us. Let the market tip its hand. Good call to flatten it where I flattened it. These are the trades this morning. So final TP for me was up at 22. There's nothing for me. Nothing for me in here. Back in between the 262s on the 5, right? So if anything, now that we've broken through these upper quads, I'll be looking for it to come and drive out this liquidity on this low. So this range here is currently unmitigated as well, which should take you down to like 30, 34. So at the moment, I'm just going to wait for news, which will get you back down to fair value on the hourly. For red pillars, it's a search and destroy profile, right? If you look at actually what's taken place. So this low here is suspect. You know, if price is hella bullish, you'd want it to go out of the premium, which is the last parlay in that I took, which is in here, right? That's probably 30% on that. If it starts moving through this low here, you're moving away from the schematic, which would be a Judas. You'd then be moving into a sell day stroke New York AM session reversal. So if you were bearish, you'd be looking to go short inside of fair value or a premium of the London dealing range. Okay, so if you're anticipating to drive out the lows, you'd be short inside of a premium looking to drive out these lows. Right, in terms of schematics. However, if you're bullish, this is your Asia purge. Your purge on your Asia high, this is your Judas swing down into your high time frame point of interest. 15-minute order block to then go and drive out the highs, the divergence up on the high. So at the moment, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the market to tip its hand on news. So at the moment, for continuation, I don't particularly want to see it go through this point of origin down here on the low. So red pillars, this is accumulation inside fair value. So all of this is inside of a discount of this range. Okay, so this becomes a point of origin. So 35 would be a point of interest for me, which would mitigate that range on the low. Which is that a weak low in there? So this weak low from earlier, Literally take that out. So if we get down into here, I'll be interested in this area for a bounce. On news. Completely flat for now. However, if you're still holding your longs from earlier, you'd still be long from here and then just holding a run of your lamb to slaughter that we spoke about, right? So your stop is still here. If you're long, paid, lamb to slaughter. This is exactly why we have lambs to slaughter, right? For offset accumulation. So the reason why I'm not entering in here is because I'm out of this trade. I'm out. So I don't want to be entering in here when I've already taken that trade. It makes no sense to me. So for me, I'm just going to sit flat and see if it wants to go and run that low. But if you're in this trade, it doesn't matter because you're still in from that low. Which was this entry here. So right down here at 63.75, right? So this was the initial entry, parlay in, scaled out. So if you're still holding runners from that low, that's different. Or if you're still in from this low, 63, holding your lamb to slaughter to go drive out the high, that's different. So news in half an hour. If you're still holding a position, that's one thing. I'm just going to say flat until then. Let's have a look. See what you guys are saying. I took it from 85 to 95 and 99 to M&Qs. Good stuff, Franny, mate. Well done, bro. So essentially, you took it from the upper quad on that 5-minute BISI after respecting the lows. I like it. On the discount side of this 1 minute DR, right? Yeah, absolutely. I'm anticipating the highs to go today. It's just finding your entry to get back in if you're not already in. So I jumped on YouTube later. We traded all this inside of Red Hill today. So this was the last entry. So if you're in from here, it's okay. You're just holding a runner. So it's this high, it's this void up on the high that I'm looking for NQ to want to drive up towards today, the dole. So up at 881. How safe would you say it is? Absolutely nailed the gym yesterday. Absolutely fucked today. Oh. Wherever Jamal's at, I learned from my mistake. I'm doing backs and lats and triceps at the same time. Dude! Stupido. Stupido. Who does backs and lats at the same time and triceps? Who does that? Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Right, back into fair value on that hourly Sibby. A consequential encroachment. So just be mindful, you got news in 20 minutes, unemployment claims. Hello, mate. Hello. Yeah. Is it too hot? Is it too hot outside? You realise you're on camera? Do you realise you're on camera? Stop being a little hussy. Stop being a little hussy. Play dead. One of the best traders you'll see, by the way, this one. One of the best traders out there. Aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah. I know. You tell him. You tell him, punk. You want to show him how it's done? Let's walk over the keyboard. Control Alt Enter. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know that tactic. I know that tactic. Stop eyeing up that keyboard, you. Yeah, get out of here, punk. Her brother got run over. Dark turn. So I think I have to get another one. Miss your brother, don't you? Yeah. I'll chase that. I'll chase that. Play with me, Dad. That's what I want. Come on. No? Ay, ay, ay. Patience, guys. Patience. Best song. Hey, I'm in a buy since 2 days and good profit, but then you scare me. What are you in? Are you in CFDs then or something? Best song. The old CFDs. So don't forget today, guys, you've got Apple dropping their earnings after market close today. So just be mindful going into your last hour of trading today. Price can get choppy anticipating Apple's earnings. So just be mindful of that today, especially if you're trading NQ. I'm anticipating it to be a positive earnings result for Apple. So a quick look at Dixie, see what Dixie's up to. So for me, I'm looking for Dixie to drive out these lows, which should be bearish on the dollar, bullish on the indexes. That's currently what I'm looking at the moment. I want to see us come and start working out towards this low. We've been in wider consolidation on Dixie for so long now. Dixie is due a breakout. So what often happens when you have huge range, on the indexes, right? And you have it where Dixie goes into a period of consolidation. What then happens is you then get Dixie, the indexes going into consolidation, and then Dixie goes on a rip. So it plays catch up on the indexes. So you have to be mindful of that, because we've had quite a lot of range on the indexes, but Dixie hasn't moved at all. So what we could do is just go into a period of consolidation on the indexes for the next couple of months or so, whilst Dixie plays catch up. So but short term, I'm looking for NQ to work up towards this void up on the high, which ES ran during FOMC yesterday. So for those of you who aren't in Red Pill, we were trading at FOMC yesterday, and we traded this short, which was timed with the ES gap fill. Right, so right in here. So essentially when ES filled this gap from here, this is when we went short on NQ. So right in here, which is at 245 in here, where I went short. It's going to drive out these lows. So NQ ES fulfilled its objective by getting into that void, this RTH gap that we have up on this high, whereas NQ is still yet to do that. And so if we jump onto the RTH chart on NQ, you can see over here we've still got this that's wide open. So I'm anticipating NQ to want to dive up into that today. Just whether you get another entry, that's the only question you're asking yourself. So if you're still on this low, you're still holding your lamb to slaughter. Just come and drive out these highs. So if you are if you are holding this, if you are holding your runner, you would want to be mindful of this mitigation up on this high, guys. All right. So if you're still in that position, mitigation of this range on the high. So if we do just get a rip and there's no pullback, I'll be looking at and anticipating a pullback off mitigation. So this would be an area of potentially look for a short, depending where we are, time and all that sort of fun jazz. But if you're in from here, you're just holding a runner. If it stops you out, it stops you out. If this runs this low, I'll be looking in here for another opportunity to get in. But at the moment, I'm flat. I was in here, scaled out, didn't get back in here. Just waiting for news. 2 seconds. Such a peach of a day today outside. Oosh. Beautiful blue skies. This is why I want that Apple headset, just so I can go sit in my garden and just do the same thing with you lot. You won't even know. I'll be sat there in a hot tub trading. You won't have a clue. You might hear the water, hey? Franny. San Pellegrino, mate. I saw it in the shop this morning. I was like, I'm getting some. I'm doing it today. Normally reserve it for a restaurant, but I thought, you know what? It's been a beastly week. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if Dixie and the indexes are going the same direction, you want to be careful. The Dixie's tied to so many things, right? It's also tied to the bond futures as well. It's tied heavily to bonds and interest rates. All explained in my book, for those of you who have read my book. Exactly. Yeah. There's loads. I mean, you could use the Japanese yen. There's loads of confluences you can use, but you just got to stick to what works for you. It also has a relationship with gold. You can also use gold. So there's seasonal tendencies with gold. That are tied to the Dixie. Why is that gone? Yeah. So these are my seasonal tendencies on gold. We're actually we're coming into a season where traditionally gold goes down. But it's a good thing to use, the Dixie dollar correlation. If you trade especially if you trade gold. So you're basically looking for them you're looking for them to work inverse. So whenever you get a turtle suit into a higher time frame point of interest on Dixie, usually, and if gold then does the opposite, it sets up a bullish or bearish run. All right, so if you want something to do today, go and track your dollar against gold, and whenever you get your turtle suit on gold and the turtle suit on the Dixie, this is when you set up these runs. All right. So there's loads of different ways to skin a cat, but again, they're just confluences. I had a shit ton of gold, by the way, that I sold at 16. What did I sell it at? And I had bullion gold. I had a lot of bullion gold. I sold it at, I think it was like 18 something. When was it? October 20. Yeah, about then. I sold it at the worst possible time. Sold it here. That was when I was holding bullion. I went to Dubai and just bought a shit ton of bullion and just held it. I paid about 1.2 for it, something like that, around 1.2, 1.3. What was it? It's like, yeah, around here somewhere. Had it for a long time, so sold it on this run. Right, how long we got? 3 minutes. So if you look at this high here, you've now got divergence on that high as well. So it's looking good if you're still holding your runner. Sorry guys. Sorry. Sorry, there's loads of different chats. Guys, if you can just keep your chats inside of YouTube, it helps. Yeah, what indicator to use for the season? So it's not an indicator, Debbie. It's just it's manual. I've just created these myself. It's not an indicator. So these can just be moved around. I've just made them. I'm in the process of getting indicators made, so all in good time. Patience. Yeah, here we are at all-time highs. Been long for years. However, I've been tactically TPing if we get seasonal correction for that. Cool. Yeah. Monthly cup and handle, the little chestnut. Yeah, Newsweek. There's just no high risk. There's just no low probability. High probability, low risk entry inside of it here. If you're still on this low, it's fine. This is a problem when if you're not inside red pill and then I'm jumping on red pill outside of a kill zone. Like you've kind of missed your entry already. Like anything in here, you're just chasing price. This is where you'd want to be in. Underneath the engineered liquidity, sweep, mitigation, back inside of a discount. That's your low probability buy. Alright? So it's just unfortunate that if you're trying to trade around news, you've missed your low probability buy. So that's where you'd want to be. On that low, holding a runner. I was personally looking, if I was going to get back in to take another trade, I wanted to sweep that low to get back into this unmitigated range. I wasn't going to re-enter in here when I already traded this. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I TP'd my final position up at 23. I didn't have any runners left to hold through this. So it's just one of those situations, right? I don't have any runners to hold through this high. Even though I'm anticipating these highs to go, I do not chase price. I just don't do it. Period. Full stop. End of. So if it goes up to my objectives and my targets, right, which first low-hanging fruit objective is to get up to this unmitigated range, right? It's just one of those where I wasn't good enough to hold my position through to that hold, right? I didn't hold enough contracts from this low on scale out to hold through offset accumulation. That's on me, right? So what I don't then do is go, well, okay, I got in here, right? I didn't get back on the offset accumulation. I'm not going to start going here just chasing in price, am I? Right? With the potential for this to come and wick out these lows. I'm just not going to do that. That's your low risk buy. So in terms of the structure that set all this up, you got this discount, but this here is my hexacorn, right? So this SIBI below this pivot high with the order block is an hexacorn, right? So this order block supporting this SIBI, these right here become propulsion blocks. Okay, SIBI supported by order blocks. This is propulsion block. So when price comes back to your propulsion block, that's your buy. Okay, so that was your low risk buy. That was your low risk buy inside the hexacorn, right? This SIBI, this order block. So these are your low risk buys. And my general rule of thumb is, like, I only enter in the lower 25% of projected range. So if my projected range is from this low, and low hanging fruit objective would be to get up to mitigation, right, I'm only interested if I'm entering in this area, right? So if you notice from my trades this morning, right, so this is where I'm interested in getting in, like these are here and here, right? These are my low risk buys. So I shorted up here, long down here, right in at the low at 22, right? So, you know, if price is sort of at 50% of my projected range, there's nothing really here for me to trade. I'm not in the trade. I missed it. I wasn't good enough. It's as simple as that, right? But if you're like a trade junkie and you're, you know, forcing entries around 50% of the range, you're entering where offset accumulation is likely to take place, where chop is likely to take place, right? It's essentially where retail trade. This is where retail trade. This is where the elite trader trades, right? On these lows, not here. So this is where you're just paying yourself. It's not a place to be entering. All right. So if you come onto my YouTube streams, or you come onto when I stream on live with you guys on YouTube or inside of Red Pill when I'm trading inside Red Pill, I'm not a kind of trader who's just going to trade every swing. It's not how I trade, right? I wait for high probability, low risk entries, and I trade to my structures and my models, right? So my style is incredibly patient. I'm not here to force an entry. And if I miss my entry, I miss my entry. It is what it is. But this, you know, this is as important. Honestly, this is as important. You know, sitting through this and not forcing trades and developing patience is as important as knowing when to execute a trade. Trust me. But if you're coming on these streams and you're like, I just want to trade, I want to trade, give me a trade, where are we going? Buy, sell, puts, calls, long, short. Like that energy is horrendous. Like, you're never going to succeed with that energy. It's horrendous energy. Right? You're that trader who's just on the hamster wheel, who's just a fucking trade junkie, right? Do one. Right? Come back when you've actually had a bit of experience and you actually want to learn. Okay, because being able to develop patience and sit back and wait for price to come to you is as important as knowing when to execute a trade. Right now is knowing when to sit off the market. Okay, so doing nothing on this stream is as important as it would be to me saying here, let's go trade, let's go long, let's go short, right? It's as important. But if you're that person who wants to come on stream and they just, all you want to see is long short, long short, long short, long short, I'm not your guy. I'll tell you now, I'm not your guy. But if you want high probability, low risk buys, that's what I'm here for. Let's have a look at this. I'm sure people inside Red Pill can preach how fucking accurate I am. But I certainly don't come on YouTube to trade demo like a junkie, like most traders do. Right, I'm trading my own real money, so. Oh shit. So 25% of the projected range is all the way down here. These are your low risk buys, not up here. This is trash. If you're entering up here, forcing along, it's trash. You know, this is where your probability reduces by taking trades like this. Right? Let the markets come to you. If it still rips and goes up to target, okay, that's the one occasion where it does do it. But it's not low risk, and it's certainly not high probability. You got more news coming out at 10. Oh, this is my band. This is my band. By the way, this is how much I care little about monetization of YouTube. Every single video gets banned because I play this music. You can't monetize it. I can't monetize any. I don't monetize any of my videos. That's how little shit I give about it. Music for the win, baby. Music for the win. That's what it's about. Giving back. Listen to vibes. Taking boss trades. That's what we do. What, this song? Telling me, Joe. Literally been on rinse repeat. I can't get enough of this band. They are so good. Should we crank it? I know. YouTube are not fans. I'll show you that, see if I can bring it up. Oh shit. What's this? So every single video I get this, right? So this is like your creators hub. Cannot be monetized. Cannot be monetized. Cannot be monetized. Blocked. Blocked. Cannot be monetized. Blocked. Cannot be monetized. Cannot be monetized. They're like, do you get the picture X? I'm like, yeah, but I don't want the money. Monetized. Blocked. 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 So if you think I'm here for the ad revenue, think again. I couldn't care less. I mean, how good is this song though? So good. So good. They just did a tour in America, by the way. So good. It's their first album. The rest of their albums are a little bit sketch, but it's a really good album. And this is why you don't chase price, guys. Exactly why you don't chase price. So you need to be mindful on ES. You've got a void on ES all the way down at 68. So what I'd like to see is another sweep before it rallies. That's what I'd like to see if I was going to trade again today. So basically down inside mitigation on this low is where I've got an interest. But ES down at 68, there's a void. Down in here. You took that short from the 30 sec Bissy. Good stuff. 30 seconds is a bit left field, but I hear you. So it's gone out, it's actually at the very high, it's gone up into mitigation of this high. So it mitigated that high there. Up at the X levels on the 79 on the X levels. Back at 62 on the daily. But well done, Debbie. Nice shot. Uh, 68 on the 15 second. 68.75. Yeah, 15 seconds. 15 seconds is your execution window. I don't, by the way, Debbie, I don't use the 30-second chart. So, but yeah, the 15 seconds you're down on ES. Yeah, Ains is back from his holiday, right? Ready to rumble. So pretty uneventful in terms of actual trades this morning since coming on YouTube. Beastie London session though. Is there any specific topic that anyone wants to touch on whilst we just wait? Because I'm not trading inside of this. If there's any topic that anyone wants to touch on, we can go over it. If anyone wants to parlay. Yeah, on YouTube, Leo, mate. We on YouTube. London trade would be a nice strat. Oh, start. You can do that if you want. Data weight projection for CPI. Yeah, okay. Leo, that's more to stay inside a red pill. That sort of granular stuff, mate. I'll teach you that inside red pill, mate. Can you describe your stop loss? Yeah, so my stops are always the same, right? Depending on the conditions, but a general rule of thumb is they're always 3 points. My stops are always 3 points. 3 points, right? Around the open and around data, it goes to 6 points or 7 points. Whatever. I've got ATMs for both, but it's generally 6. So 15 minutes either side of data and the open, they move to 6. Okay, so in terms of today, where were we on the higher time frame? On the daily, right? Back down towards fair value. So one of our principles is if we are in a buy profile and we're anticipating bullish continuation on the day, right? And if we look at start with just purely weekly profiles, because every trade that we take has to start with context, and being able to frame daily bias correctly. If you can frame daily bias and understand schematics, it puts you in a really good stead in then searching for your entries. Okay, so whenever I step at the charts, I always start on a higher time frame, work my way down, and build a context for my trade. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the granular, but I'm just going to keep it very high level today in terms of framing daily bias, utilizing X levels. Okay, so straight off the bat that we know that we have the X levels dealing ranges, which on the daily is from this high to this low. If you don't know how to do X levels, I've done episodes on YouTube that you just need to go and check in my material, right? But essentially this dials in your PD rates. It lets you know where to search for your entries, okay? And every dealing range has a premium and a discount side to it. So premium and the discount side. If you want to know what those specific levels are, again, I've done videos on it. But you can see how here we've just gone from a discount to a premium after bouncing monthly dealing range 62%. Okay, so I know that this is a higher time frame point of interest on the higher time frame, a monthly institutional reference point. So when we talk about high time frame institutional reference points, this is where the institutions are stepping into the market. So the higher the time frame, the more aggressive the displacement is going to be, because this is where your banks, hedge funds are stepping into the market. Okay, so when you have now fulfilled a higher time frame point of interest, and the higher the time frame, the more powerful the displacement is going to be. This is when you can start building context for why price is likely to drive through into liquidities and inefficiencies in price, right? Because price is only doing one of two things. It's searching for liquidity or inefficiencies in price. So when we turtle suited this low, and we're turtle suit traders inside of Red Pill into this high time frame POI, this is when you can start be looking for longs to come drive out these highs, right? Liquidity, inefficiencies, liquidity, inefficiency, right? As price does what? Moves from a discount to a premium. So we now know that we're in a bullish profile, having reached a high time frame institutional reference point. So for the last few days, we've been bullish, trading price higher, right? Yesterday, we knew exactly where price was going up to, fair value, yesterday inside of Red Pill, right? So I know that we're in a bullish profile. Now, that is just the first part of just looking at high time frame analysis, okay? But beyond that, we can start considering weekly profiles. Okay, so we know that we've got Monday high, Tuesday low, right? What does this now create the setup for in terms of weekly profiles? Well, we've come down to our high time frame institutional reference point on Tuesday, making this a Tuesday low of week in terms of weekly profiles. All right, so we've now got Wednesday continuation for Thursday continuation stroke consolidation, right? So again, playing into the idea, the context for bullish price. We can also then start looking at the context for divergences and what ES has previously done. So we know that ES yesterday during FOMC got into this void on the RTH. So if we head across to our RTH, we know that ES got up into its gap, right? Up in here. Okay, so we were going short yesterday up inside that RTH gap. Okay, on ES. right in here was our short yesterday during FOMC. Right? So we know that ES has got up into it, but it has NQ. So if we go across to NQ, this exact same void, NQ has not got up into it. So this is essentially six sister for NQ to still fulfill its objective on this high. Okay, so that is purely just context. I'm anticipating price continuation. So now I'll be utilizing X levels and PD rays inside those X levels to find an entry for higher price, okay? So what do we have here? We have an hourly dealing range, okay? So an hourly X level dealing range, and we have fair value. And as I've mentioned, X levels are there to dial in your PD array. So inside of here, we have a SIBI, which is now supporting price once it breaks through. Supporting price. Once it's into it yesterday, resistance, breaks through is now support. So inside of these X levels, we can now start dialing in our PD arrays at these points of interest. Well, we've now got fair value. fair value on this hourly X level at the low of this SIBI on the H1, which is now support. And I'm anticipating bullish continuation. So one thing we look for when we are in a profile looking for bullish continuation is we are looking for a 15-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity for price to sweep into for range continuation. So right here, all of this forming inside of a premium is engineered liquidity. So if you're ever looking for a bullish continuation, you're going to look for your 15-minute order block on the low and frame your entries inside of that order block. Okay, so if we now drop down onto our 1 minute, you can start dialing this in even further. You can start for looking for unmitigated ranges. This mitigates this range before the break of structure, yada yada. But right, regardless. So inside of here is now where we're starting to frame our entries. Okay, and there's models and techniques that I teach inside of Red Pill in terms of how you trade the exact fucking swing low. The exact swing low. I'm not going to go onto it on YouTube, but right here, the very low. Okay, so again, we're Turtle Suit Traders, Bosch, into our higher time frame point of interest. CE of that 50-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity. Okay, so the next step, that is context for framing daily bias, right? We now know that we are bullish, right? We know that we are bullish. Make sense so far? You with me? Or everyone falling asleep? Right, we know that we're bullish. So the next step you'd be considering is, okay, so what do we have in terms of schematics to support that? And I have a host of schematics. New York AM session reversal, New York close reversal, Asia London session Judas swing, 2 p.m. reversal, 1:30 Judas. Right, there's a host of them. But every single day there is going to be a schematic in play that you are looking to get in alignment with. So we know that if we are looking to trade a 15-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity, looking for a continuation in the buy profile after witnessing price coming back to our support level on this BISI in a weekly profile for potential for Thursday continuation with a 6 sister on the high, because ES has already come and filled out this high, right? We can start anticipating and look for our reasons for why price is going to move lower initially. So if you're with me from this morning trading this short, this would be an Asia to London session Judas swing. Why? Because this here is your Asian session high. So this is your purge, Asia purge for a Judas. Okay, what would you need to be considering is, what is that high and why is that specific high going to be referenced and remain in place for a sell-off? Well, if we drop to our 15-minute chart, this SIBI on the 15-minute when we filled here is now what? What is that high? Now we've filled this SIBI, what would this high be? Anybody? I'll get to this. I'll get to the low in a minute, but I'm going to go through today. What would this high be? So this very high, which I traded this morning, this very high up at 63, right up in here. Why? If intermediate term high. So if you have an intermediate term high on your 15, you've now got a buck stop level as to why price wouldn't go through here. Okay, so now you're in the profile for an Asia to London session Judas, looking to get down to that 15-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity. That's your first trade in the morning. Okay, but once you get down to your 15-minute order block, what are you now looking for? Asia to London session Judas. So this is your Judas swing that you've essentially traded after your purge on the Asia high, intermediate term high. Okay, and there's different ways you can frame your trades in here. These are weak highs. This is an inefficiently delivered range. Look for fair value, yada, yada. But now you've got down to your 15-minute. This is where you can start dialing in your entries for a long. Okay, so again, principles of X levels. So, God, trash. Made my charts trash. Get rid of that. Okay, so again, higher time frame point of interest. Fair value on the hourly inside of this SIBI that's now acting as support at an Asia to London session Judas at the 15-minute order block, anticipating bullish continuation. All right? It's not just a pretty fucking 2022 with red pill, baby. So what we can do with X levels is, now that we have this manipulation range, we can now flip this DR because we are anticipating this low to be our low, our very pivot goddamn low. So with X levels, there is a discount and a premium to every single dealing range. So this is where you'd start framing your entry. You'd start looking for your PDRAs inside of these levels. 79, 70.5, 62. If you go down to your 15-second chart, and my execution chart is my 15 seconds. So I go even below the 1 minute. I go to my 15 second. You'll notice inside of here, you have balanced price range. So again, balanced price range. But if you had any entry in here, what would you be looking to do? You'd be looking to pay yourself in a premium, hold runners to take out the high. Where's our premium on this 1 minute? Boom, X levels, right? X levels. So you've now gone from a discount to a premium on this range, right? What does it get you back into? The 5 minute discount side of the 5 minute dealing range as well, right? But your principle is always, and this is the most important bit for people on YouTube, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but your job is to find a higher time frame point of interest. If you want to know the generality of how I trade without being a side of red pill, you want to find your higher time frame point of interest, okay? Your institutional reference point inside of a discount, okay? And then you're going to enter on the lower time frame at that higher time frame point of interest, and then you're going to look for price to expand back out through your dealing ranges, through your X levels. So higher time frame point of interest, find your nucleus, I call it, which is your higher time frame point of interest, and then you're looking for price to then expand back out the opposing direction, right? So higher time frame point of interest, nucleus, price then expands back out. So higher time frame point of interest, 15-minute order block, SIBI support in a day profile that's bullish. Now you're going to look for price to expand out. So if you have a 15, I'll just talk purely on the 1 minute for now, but if you break the 15 seconds, what would you be looking for? What would you be looking to break after your 15 second? Where would you be going next? The 1 minute, okay? So the 1 minute dealing range, which is up here. So that is what price is doing, right? The next thing it is doing, inefficiencies, liquidity as price moves from a discount to a premium, fundamentals of X levels, right? So we've gone from a discount into a premium, hold runners to take out the high. So you'd pay yourself inside of here, enter, pay yourself, hold runners to take out the liquidity on the 1 minute. So you've now broken structure on the 1 minute, right? So now the questions you've got to ask yourself are, okay, am I going to trade range continuation? So where would you go beyond the 1 minute if you were looking to stay in sync with the model, which is a Asia, Judas, main move? What would be after a 1 minute? What's the next time frame? 5 minute, right? So this is our 1 minute breaker structure, X levels on the 5. Okay, so funny this, right? We are now inside of a higher time frame discount, and we have entered on the very fucking pivot low, going outside of the 1 minute DR discount, taking liquidity above the 1 minute DR, breaker structure on the 1 minute. Now we're inside of a 5 minute discount. So inside of here is when you can start looking for what? If you weren't on this primary, what would you be looking for? Your high probability what? Secondary entries, right? Because you know you've got your valid manipulation into your higher time frame point of interest as price now expands. Okay? So what do we have in here where we can start framing our entries for a low risk buy, and we are still at 25% of the projected range if we're anticipating the highs to go, right? These are our low risk buys. So this is now what? A breaker block, sure, but you also have a Exicorn, which is one of my models for those of you who don't know, or one of the things that I utilize. Okay, so a SIBI at a pivot high that's supported by order blocks is is an Exicorn. Okay, it's a strong secondary entry. It's like a unicorn for those of you who know what a unicorn is, which is a breaker block with a BISI. This is an Exicorn. It's my own model, which is a SIBI with an order block. So these order blocks here are now order blocks supporting this SIBI for continuation inside of this breaker block, right? Breaker block. Okay, so if you're now looking for a secondary entry, order block, boom. That's your entry. This is where we were going long. Okay, so where would you be looking after the 5 minute? Okay, 5 minute what? Premium. So let's go back to our 5 minute dealing range. 5 minute dealing range. Where do we go to? To a goddamn tick. Right? My X levels. 38%. Okay? So, on its own, it is not enough. It is not enough to say, okay, well, there's an X level there. Okay, let's just take that on face value. You need a PD array to support your price at that level. And there's also principles that we have inside of Red Pill for framing a trade. I'm not going to go into all those on YouTube. But up here in at 62%, or I just flipped them. You have this order block, turtle suit, weak lows, engineered liquidity. So the same principle. So again, if you are anticipating higher prices to come and drive out these highs, again, same principle. Price accumulating inside of a premium. Anything above fair value is a premium. Engineered liquidity, sweep. So if this is an order block, what are these? Hexacorn, Sibi, order block forming inside these order block. What are these order blocks? You guys getting an absolute masterclass, by the way. Propulsion blocks. So this price coming back down into here is propulsion block. So this would be another low risk buy, which is what we were talking about this morning where we went long. If you think I'm chatting absolute gooseberry, if you think this is all hindsight, it's not. It's what we were trading this morning inside of Red Pill. Short on the high, long off this very low. Long inside this low, taken out to 22. Right? It's what we were trading this morning. Okay, so low risk buy. Low risk buy back inside this propulsion block, sweeping this engineered liquidity. Guess where that is? What are our principles of price when we're trading X levels? Always go long inside of a discount. So what is this? This is X levels discount on the 5. Right? Just as a word of warning for you guys, if you're just new to X levels, never enter in between the 262s. Never enter in here, ever. You are just liquidity if you ever enter inside of here. Right? So until that high breaks or that low gets closed below on the 5 minute, that is still your dealing range. Right? So you can see right here, price has gone up into a premium, mitigated this range on the highs. Mitigation is a breaker structure which hasn't been mitigated. Working back out towards these lows. Okay, so for me, at the moment, if I was to look for a trade, I don't want to be entering, and this is why I've been sat still this morning, inside of here, because I know that this is all liquidity. I know it is. I just know. Right, in between the 262s. It's trash fill. These are your low risk buys. Low risk buy, low risk buy, low risk buy. Last low risk buy. Right, to go and drive out the highs. So if you were still holding to take out that high, your runner's just been taken out. Oh, boo-boo. Boo-boo. Right? So, what is still on the cards at the moment? Still on the cards is for price to come back into this point of origin to then go and take out the highs. Because this schematic is still in play in terms of a Asia to London session Judas and this being the Judas. It's still in play until that low goes. It's still in play. Right? If we start carving through this low, I'll move to the sidelines because it's more likely that we're going to start driving down back into this hourly discount. Right? It's going to just break this this hourly Sibi that we have here. Right? Okay, but this here would be what's known as accumulation inside fair value. Let me get rid of some of all this. So accumulation inside fair value is when price is accumulated inside of a discount of a higher time frame dealing range. You can form on a lower time frame as well, sure, but the higher the time frame, you obviously it's more probable, as long as your context is correct with your low. Okay, so this range from this high to this low, this is fair value. Anything below accumulating inside of here, accumulation, is a point of origin on the low. So when price breaks out here, this is a poo for price to return back into for continuation. We know that on these lows, there is weak lows. So if you were on the stream pretty early doors, I was talking about this weak low down here, which is why I didn't want to chase along in here. So we're now going full circle. So this low here is a weak low. Why is that a weak low? Well, it formed inside of a premium of this X level. Okay, so price never came back to fair value, which makes this low suspect. Okay, we also have this high, this low, price has broken through, which means this range here is unmitigated. And it's also a point of origin inside of accumulation inside fair value. So if I was looking to frame an entry, I'd be looking at around mitigation of this range, okay? And then I'd be utilizing the principles that we talk about in Red Pill to frame that entry. The fuck have I just done? Right? Knowing that we have news coming out at 10 o'clock. So in terms of trade management, I'm utilizing those principles which I talk about in terms of range expansion. So I'm always looking to get in at that higher time frame POI, that nucleus, and then I'm looking to range expand. So I know that price is only doing one of two things. It's looking for inefficiencies and liquidity, and it's doing that by moving price from a premium to a discount. So if I am entering inside of a X levels discount after reaching the higher time frame POI, I know where price is going. It's going for inefficiencies and liquidity and price. Because I'm a turtle suit trader, I pay myself before the break of structure on the 1 minute because I'm trading without any confirmation. So I always pay myself inside the 1 minute inefficiency and price. Inefficiencies, liquidity. And then I'm just looking for range expansion. So my first is the 1 minute, then I go up to my 5 minute, and then ultimately I'll be looking for a 5 minute to be broken. Beyond the 5 minute, I'd look for a 15, but in this example, the 15 and the 5 is exactly the same, right? The 15 and the 5 minute DR is the same. And then beyond the 15, I'll be looking at the hourly. I'll be looking for the hourly range to go, which is the current high, yesterday's high, which is over here. All right, so in terms of context, the context is that we've got ES now driving out new highs. We've got double divergence up on this high, and we've got a divergence from yesterday's PM session. So for me, it's more likely that we're going to go work back up towards these highs. We do have news at 10 o'clock, so be mindful of that. And this is a point of origin. All right, you with me? That makes sense. I feel like I've just spoken a lot. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Does that make any sense? Yes, sir. But if you're just stepping to your charts and you're just going, where's the 2022 model that ICT talks about all the time? Right, Gary. But Gary talks about OTAs. He looks for big structure and he looks for fair value gap into a premium. Right, if that's you fucking kid who sits at the back of the class who gets a D and everything, fuck off. Right, if you want PhD level trading where you're trading the actual exact pivot swing goddamn low, I'm here for you. But it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And it all starts with context, schematics, understanding X levels of market structure and being able to trade in accordance with those principles. So these trades from 63 and flipping at 52, 522, scaling out to 2022, 622 are my trades. All right, douche, douche, douche. Swing lows, swing highs. I have no interest trading around 50% of a projected range. No, thank you. Good night. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. I try and dumb it down, and that's not me being condescending. But I appreciate it's YouTube, and most people on YouTube aren't inside Bread Pill, and obviously it's not gone into granular detail. Yeah, this is just very surface level. But if you want the principles of how I trade, that's how I trade, and I'm always trading turtle suits. I'm just trading turtle suits around a fucking macro. Jesus Christ! Inside of a discount of a higher time frame dealing range in alignment with a PD rate. In an absolute nutshell, that's how I trade. It really doesn't get any more complicated than that. And the thing with the thing with my style of trading is that you can trade literally any goddamn swing you want to trade. You can trade any swing, any goddamn swing with X levels. Your job then becomes waiting for the high probability, low risk buys and sells. That becomes your job, right? It's not just a case of, yes, I have mechanical models as well. And if you can overlay a mechanical model with a base rule principle of an X level trade, then that's when your probabilities stack up. But primarily it's discretionary trading. And so, but the beauty of discretionary trading is that you have the ability to trade any swing. And trust me, I can teach you how to trade every swing. But it's then waiting for the high probability ones, right? So how long we got to the open? Open in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Good old ISM. Good old ISM. Bom, 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 bom. Boom, boom. Let's go. Let's go. So 46.50 is my first, is where I want to go off first, which is 50% that previously inefficiently delivered range. So that's TP1. So red pillars, you'll know what that is, right? So this, if you go down to your 15 seconds, right? Inefficiently delivered range, right? That's your first TP. Which would be a nice little 20 handles or so off that low. That's why we pay ourselves. Took my runner there. Little 20 points off that little bounce there. Yeah, runner got stopped as well. It's alright. That's why we pay ourselves. It's that void on ES down at 68 that we were talking about all morning. Bum 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 bum. Not really. 68 would put you in here on ES. If NQ takes out this low, I'll just move to the sidelines because it breaks the principles of what we're looking for. What's your point, Leo? It's still inside this point of origin. It's just come back down to the lower quad. So if you remember, these mitigations before the break of structure validate the 30, 50, 70 on breaks of structure. So you have one here, which is what it initially goes into, and it's basically come back down to 30. Soup the soup. Soup the soup. It's all right, patience. Don't forget you got news at 10. It's all right. It's all good. So you can flip this DR over. Just gonna have a quick look here on this 15 second. Stop below. Super high risk going out the open. Actually, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see how if it hits 17 or not. There you go. It's the very last point of interest for me there. Super high risk. If you're long here holding at the open, super, you'd have to just rip straight off the open. literally my buck stops right here. Go on, you little fucker. Scabby PA. Oosh. That's precision, baby. It's what we're about. It's what we're about. So if you're in a 17, you've got your little 20 handles, hold runners. Stop below that low. Scabby PA. You got news at 10. Don't forget that. Looking to go drive out this high at 66 is currently what I'm holding for. If it takes out this low, I'm just going to move to the sidelines. Let's go. Set us free, baby. Set us free. We want 66. We want come on, baby. Give me some. Wow, whippy, whippy, whippy. That's why you got to pay yourself inside of a premium of this DR, right? Oosh. Does not want people in this long, does it? Just give us 66, Enki, and we'll be done. We'll be out of here. We'll be out of here. We'll be out of here, baby. That's all we want. Just give it to us. Get some. Just get some. That is a shake and bake. That is why we trade the very fucking swing low. If you were trying to chase that, you would have got murdered. Remember at the open there, Leo, to open up your stops, mate. Still on 66. This weak high up here. These rails. Let's go, baby. 66. I wonder if it makes us wait for fucking news. That'd be dry, wouldn't it? That'd be so dry. When's news 10? Ugh. 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 Oh, don't be boring, NQ. Don't be boring. Yeah, this is NASDAQ, yeah. So 17 paid, holding runner for 66, which should give you the 50 or 50 handles. Just holding for 66. If I get stopped out, I'll cry. It's like 4 points. Fucking 4 points. Oh. Oh. So you've now got a new 15-second DR, guys. So Principles of X levels. Fucking came for my runner. Oosh. Oosh. 4 points off my TP. Yeah, that's going to happen now and again, isn't it? That is Scab City, that is. Inverted fair value gap here now. Should just drive up for that high now. Bloody came soup the soup. That is scabby. It's because all of you lot are in the trade. That's not happening. Oh, got 20 people knees deep on 17. I got back in on 26 though. I got back in. I'm still in. Little fuckers. Let's go, baby. Let's go. There's your 66. It's what we wanted. And now you're just gonna hold runners. Now you're just gonna hold runners. And you're gonna look to go and take out the high. This high. Put 645. If you got any runners left, that's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna hold runners for this high. Oh, sheesh. Well, that was fucking exciting, wasn't it? It's what we do, baby. It's what we do. We get there. We get there. That was a sketchy ass fucking trade. So in at 17, paid myself inside of a premium. Got stopped out on here, came all the way back out and wicked out my runner. Got back in at 26, scaled outside of a premium of this range, holding a runner to go and take out this high. Fuck you, NQ. Let's go, baby. So, as always, just a general rule of principle, a rule of mine is that I always give myself 2 trades at a trade opportunity. Always 2. And I don't ever go over 2. Right? I don't ever go over 2. You have 1 trade, and if it stops you out, you have another opportunity. If you get stopped out in that second, move to the sidelines, you're offside. Only ever give yourself 2 opportunities to trade idea. It's a very good way of keeping tilt out your trading. I spoke about this previously, AJ. So point of origin, poo. Poo. Balanced price range. Very low of the balanced price range on the 1 minute. And this is why it took me out. So so this is a point of origin on this low. Lower than I wanted it to go, but my buck stops at BPR 17. Alright. So if price breaks BPR, it shouldn't go below it. So that's why my stop got ran here. So I got back in when it was wicks doing the damage, bodies telling the story. Right? So look at your, always look at the tails, but look at where the bodies are. Alright, so this is just wick, soup in the soup. Horrible. Now and again the soup gets souped. Alright, so we're in right on this low. Pay yourself inside of a premium, whole runners got stopped out. Here, when it came back and broke this BPR on the 1 inside the point of origin, accumulation inside fair value, inside the market profile of Asia London session Judas swing, looking for a bullish continuation inside of a 15-minute order block underneath engineered liquidity. Dab. Alright, now we're looking for price to come and drive out this high. So if you're still holding a runner, you're still holding this to come take out 648. Alright, if you want to be an absolute juicy, go up for the midnight open price if you want to go on beyond that. But you got news coming in at 10 o'clock. Be mindful of that. They'll probably use that as your catalyst. But if you simply just want to trade liquidity, you'd want to be going over 647. I entered 3 times but only lost runners. When I saw I didn't take this morning's low, I re-entered, as you say, like to drive high. Yeah, absolutely. So who's bagging? Who's Bilbo bagging on stream? Who's taking an absolute monster this morning? Have we just... Have we smashed it out of the park or we just smashed it out of the park? You tell me, guys. Is that a fucking home run or is that a home run? You tell me. You let me know. And if you found value, consider smashing the like and subscribe. And if you don't subscribe to me, you ain't ash-hole. So you're holding runners come and take out this high. So I've broken down the exact principles and the reasons for why I'm bullish today. That gives you your bias. You're then looking to frame your entry. We don't enter inside of or below. Oh, Jesus Christ. We don't enter above 25% of the projected range. Ever, ever, ever do that. Your job as a trader is always to enter inside of the lower 25% of a projected range if you are bullish. There is your 25% of your projected range. Projected range is going to take out this high. So your 25%, your low risk buys are in here, in here, in here. Chill with me. So all of our trades this morning are low risk buys inside the London dealing range. Okay, buys at 22, buys at 63, scaling out to 23 this high. Buy, 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 sell. Projected range. Wait for price to offset, accumulate. Boom. Accumulation inside fair value, inside of an Asia London session Judas swing, inside of a bullish profile, weekly profile, Thursday continuation, Tuesday low of week. Boom. Right? There's levels to trading, guys. There's levels. Right? There's absolutely levels to trading. Right? If you want to flatten it here at mitigation, be my guest here at 39. If you don't want to fight over a few handles, be my guest and flatten it here. It's entirely up to you. Or you can just go for that liquidity. Again, entirely up to you. Be my guest. I'm just going to flatten it here. I'm flattening it here, guys. So there's my 27, final position 24. 100 points. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's how we do it. Do we get some yeeks or do we get some yeeks? Bring out the lobsters! Guys, I hope you found value in that stream. I hope you found value in that stream. We talk shit for a bit. We sit patient. And then we come in like a fucking train wreck. Boosh! And eat it up. That's what we do. But if you want to go and trade with Junkyvilles, where they're getting little boners trading inside of this shit, be my guest. If you want to be an elite motherfucker and you want to wait for the actual eventual move, I'm your guy. Right? And if you want to chat shit in the meantime, I'm here for you. Right? But if you want to junkie trade, there's other people for that. I'm here for you. So you want to TP above this high. If that's going to be your final TP, all right. But if you want to anticipate a pullback, this is where you'd anticipate a pullback inside mitigation of this range. But you would want to TP above this high. So this high, when this is mitigated, what has this high now become, ladies and gents? Red pillars. Once we mitigate a high, what does that high become? So why in God's name do you think I know that high is going to go? What? Why do you think I know that high is going to go? Anyone? Why is it sus? Jesus Christ, you guys on YouTube again, a fucking feast today. Why? Right, but why are they relative equal highs? Because it's been mitigated. So mitigated highs is what creates relative equal highs. So if you have context for price to go and drive out mitigated highs, bet your bottom dollar it's going to go drive out those better highs. Better highs, relative equal highs. Especially if you combine that with, hello ES, what are you up to, mate? Where are you off to? Red pillars, you'll know what I'm talking about. That high's going. So if you want to TP above this high, be my guest. There you go. Bosh, taken. Yeet. Oosh. Get some. You've just taken over 100 points with me on YouTube. Use that money, invest it in a fucking lifetime membership to Red Pill and I'll change your life. I guarantee it. I just want to help people. I just want to help people. That's all I'm here for. I just want to help. I just want to help. That's all I'm here for, guys. Not here for any other reason. Just want to help. That's my life dharma now. I think I'm a good teacher. I like teaching. I'm pretty darn good at what I do. And I've already made it in life. So I just want to help other people achieve the same. So if you want to get on that journey, I'm here for you. All right. There you go. TP. Who took some of those trades? Let me see some charts. I appreciate you, goatsies. I appreciate the goatsies. You find me any other trader on YouTube today or Twitter or anywhere else who's got that very fucking swing low to that very high. I dare you. I dare you. I challenge you. And if you do know them and they have done that, please tag me in Twitter because I want to do a stream with like legit live traders. Like I'm tired of the shit on Twitter where people talking hindsight and crap, right? I want live motherfuckers. So if anyone can call trades like this live, hit me up, tag me, and I want to get a little parlay, right? A little one-on-one going, and we'll just rip up the markets, right? So if you're holding runners, guys, midnight open price, mitigate this range on this high, and that's probably where you're going to want to call it a day. Debbie Miller, she's spitting dollars out of her mouth. She's made that much. Jesus, I don't know where the money went in, Debbie, but it's coming out your mouth. Fuck, that sounded wrong. What 1 min BPR you were talking about? Yeah, sure. So right in here. What is this, my guy? What is this? What's this little 1 minute BPR? Yes, sir. Up, down, trade through. So this is where I was looking. Alright. Wick's doing the damage, body telling a story. At the open, you have to open up your stops. You have to open up your stops. Please let me tell you. We had this conversation before the fucking market opened. I open up my stops, either side of news, either side of the open. Outside of those windows, I contract and I go to 3 points. Right? You with me? You with me? You with me, YouTube? So what's it likely to do now? So now we've fulfilled an objective. What's it likely to do, Red Pill? Right. So who plays tennis now? Who's going to start playing tennis right now? Who's going to be going, oh, look at it rip. Look at it rip, Dave. Dave, look at it rip. Right, let's get on this rip, Dave. Fucking idiot. Right? Douchebag. Right? If you are not in on these very lows, these very pivot lows, your trading is bog standard average trash. Right? If you're going, oh, but Dave says wait for a 2022. Where you tell me where your 2022 is in that, Dave? Where's your little secondary entry traders getting in on that? You ask me. Where on earth are they getting in on that? No chance. Zero chance they're in on that. Now they're in here going, oh, let's find an entry. We're ripping. And they're just going to get fucking butchered. When price fulfills its objective, it goes into price distortion, time distortion. It goes into chop. It's where retail get murdered. Twitterville. Right? All these little furus on Twitter. That's where they belong. In here. Little, I don't know. What's his name? Dodgy Trades, whatever his name is. This is his trash. Right? Not a red pill trade. We're elite. Lows. Very, very pivot lows. So I was in at 26, out at 24. 100 points. Yee. Thank you. No, I'm fucking tired of them, Debbie. I'm tired of the bullshit. Just the absolute fucking trash bullshit. I'm not here to make friends. I don't need any more. Alright? So when I see bullshit, I'm going to call it. If you don't like it, fuck off. End of. Bring one of them on stream with me. One of them. Any of them. I'll happily go tete-a-tete. Happily. But they won't. Just like Top Step won't get me on live TV. They won't do it. Just want me in my little hole. Just want me in my little cave. You stay in there, X. You're too much, mate. Right? People resonate with the 2022. It's easy. It makes sense to them. They don't want to know this PhD level shit. All right, okay. Well, I'm here for those who do. Too expensive. The irony. The fucking irony. It's amazing when people won't pay for education, yet they'll blow through evaluations like it's nothing. Some people, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Franny, love that, mate. Absolutely love that. Look at some of these red pill fucking trades. I mean, this is what we do. I mean, come on. I mean, Franny, we got Leo ripping. It's just beautiful, guys. It's just good shit. I mean, yeah, you butchered it a little bit, Leo, but you got there, mate. It's tricky. That is tricky to trade. Unless you opened up your stop here using the principles of what we trade, that is tricky PA. Don't get me wrong. I got stopped on my runner, right? It happens. It's all right. It's all good. It's all Bristol. God, it's hot. I am absolutely toasty today. So your objectives today is you wouldn't be doing diddly squat until your objectives today would be looking up towards this void. So do not short today. Do not short today. Alright, so I'm going to be hopping off YouTube in a bit. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me. I hope you managed to take this nice little trade. If you're holding runners, be my guest and going to drive out this high, get out to this void. I'm done for the day. I am done skis. So I hope you enjoyed yourself. You're welcome, Leo. No problem. As long as you've got strong bias for your trade, I don't mind trading like aggressively off the open. I don't mind doing that, but you have to have strong bias for it. Okay, so what I normally do off the open is I wait for price to manipulate, and I find my entry and I trade off that, right? So depending on the day, right? In here, as I was mentioning, this had to rip right off the open, which is what it did. It was literally at my exact POI at the fucking open, which is, as I mentioned, is high risk. Of course it is, but if your stop placement is correct and accurate, and you've got really strong bias for why price would do that, and red pillars, you'll know why this high was our draw liquidity, right? You'll know why. Very clear and obvious. All right, there's your mitigation, by the way. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. Debbie Miller, great day, thank you. You're welcome, Debbie. Have a nice evening. Or where are you from, Debbie? Whereabouts are you in this world, this spinning orb that we all share? Where are you based? Are you New Zealand, like our Kiwi? Florida. Debbie's Florida. Oh yeah, South Florida. Yeah, dyslexia, Debbie. Shit goes in one ear and out the other. I remember South Florida. It was so flow, wasn't it? So flow. Got to get out with the American lingo, haven't I? So flow, South Florida. You don't know. I know. I repeat myself a lot, Leo. It happens, mate, when you get old. You know the one about your yeah, we have heard like yeah, I know, sorry guys. Yeah, you just do remember. Oh dear, oh dear. And on that note, I'll call it here. So guys, on YouTube, take it easy. I hope you had good sessions with me today. We'll do it all again Tuesdays, Thursdays. If you want to actually learn how to trade, I'm here for you. You know where to go. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side. It's not PMI, it's ISM, bro. Is it ISM or PMI? I'm losing my shit. Is it PMI or ISM? Yeah, it's Leo, before you get confused, mate, this isn't the model to use your data with. That's CPI and PPI. Oh, okay, cool. It's alright, JJ, it happens, mate, when you're first starting. It's all good. ISM is the, yeah, I'd say ISM. It's the first three letters. Makes sense to me. There you go. Institute of Supply Management. I don't give a fuck what they say in news. I literally couldn't care less. I don't even look at it. Like, you just need to learn how to trade candles. Like, if you can trade candles, like, they could literally say, I don't know, fucking Jerome Powell has got AIDS or something. I don't, like, it doesn't matter. I literally couldn't care less. Whatever comes out of any news event at any time. It's all trash. The markets are completely and utterly rigged. The news is just there to create volatility. That's all it's there for. Which is a very touchy subject for people who like to be fundamentalists. I'm certainly not a fundamentalist. I could not give two hoots. All right, guys. So I will catch you all soon. Take it easy. Abosh.